to Anything But Ordinary, the podcast that explores the extraordinary world behind the world, the unordinary people and businesses that create the extraordinary bubble around high-profile lives. I am Zoe Jackson, and in each episode I sit down with inspiring individuals, from founders and creators to pioneers and disruptors, who are redefining success and carving out their own paths in business and in life. We dive into the personal challenges, triumphs and turning points that make their journeys anything but ordinary. This show is your reminder that success isn't one size fits all, and life really is anything but ordinary. The Anything But Ordinary podcast is honoured to have Sharon with us today to share your journey, the impact of the work, and what it takes to build technology with both heart and purpose. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
I mean, I'm a mother. And of course, this is a topic that I know is going to be close to my heart and close to a lot of people's hearts that are listening in today. I think the best way to start is to really, for you, hand it over to you and for you to tell me, what is SafeToNet?
So SafeToNet is a commercial business. We're a company, and it was founded by my husband Richard and myself 13 years ago. We've always existed as a mission-driven business to keep children safe online. That has been front and centre from the very beginning. But it feels like we have done so many different things. It's been such a journey, as it has with harms against children. If you think 13 years ago, the harms were different, and they've evolved over time, and so have we. We've always been about developing AI, and we've always been developing innovation. So brand new, cutting edge, trying to look at these problems in a different way, and trying to stop things happening in the first place. We've been about prevention.
Yeah.
So if I think, looking back, we've developed so many different types of products and services over time. And many of them have been successful and a lot of them haven't. And I think through failing, we have learned some of our biggest lessons. And it feels like every one of those different projects that we have developed and brought to market have helped us to where we are today.
Of course, yeah.
Because during that time, we've had to build relationships with governments, with NGOs, with charities in this space, and also to understand what the harms are in order to be able to develop the technology to prevent them in the first place.
There's so much to unpick. So SafeToNet, you and your husband, you created this. And as you said, it's developed, it's progressed, it's changed over time. But the original concept, of course, has come from, did it come from being a parent? Is that where it started?
Yes, I think it must have done. I think it's funny. When I talk about our business and I'm talking to you, for example, you're both a mum and a business person. So I think those things automatically merge, don't they, in our lives? And that's natural. So I think it really resonated with us, kind of being in the technology industry anyway, if you look into our pasts, to now get into technology that had this social impact and that was keeping children safe, given that we've got 4 children between us.
Okay, wow.
It was a really easy pathway that, I think for once gave us it was very cathartic, to be, in a business with a social impact mission.
Yes, of course. And as you said, I'm sure that social impact mission, although has remained the same, it's changed as technology changes as well. So where SafeToNet originally started, I guess it was the foundation was born originally.
So we set up the business initially, and I think we've always felt that looking at online harms, it's a global social problem. And we always wanted it to be available to everybody, not just those that can afford to buy it. So the foundation is gives us this arm of being able to potentially deploy our technology to those that potentially can't afford it and in other markets. It also allows us to get a seat at the table in many ways with other governments and NGOs, because I think even if you're a commercial entity with a social impact mission, that sometimes means that you don't get invited to join the discussion group, which, I understand, but I think sometimes it's unfair.
Yeah.
I think the foundation actually will come into its own in time. It's been quiet, but now that we bring this product to market, I think I'm really keen to get my teeth back into that.
Yeah, as I mentioned already, I'm a mum with young children at school age, and it's good to see that the schools and the governments are really focusing on educating children, educating the parents on all the threats that can happen within technology. Okay, so from, we've spoken about the cybersecurity to child exposure. That's a big one, or even bullying online and social media, etc. But actually, what people don't actually talk about really is the technology part in terms of prevention around that.
I think it's because this is brand new tech, and you can't conceive of what didn't exist before.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so excited about our technology and why it's so important now to kind of get to tell the world about its existence in the first place. I do feel that it's really hard for parents. I mean, our youngest now is 22, so I'm kind of through that. But I know that it's really difficult for both parents and schools to cope with what's happening at the moment, and what the state that we've got with children accessing smartphones that really are so unprotected, and they're portals to every sort of horrendous harm on the planet. And I wish we had a silver bullet for that. There are a lot of tech companies in the UK that are developing solutions in different aspects of safety tech, but we focus very much on image and video and live stream.
Okay. It gives me literally the fear of God. Like when I think my son's got a smartphone and I probably am not that vigilant on kind of his usage. And, I've got friends that have recommended other apps that you can put on to safeguard against certain things. But actually, there's only so much that I think I can do.
Yeah.
So it is amazing to hear there is something else that is there and it is coming that actually parents can harness and people can use, not just parents, I guess.
I think that there's a lot of great tools that parents can use. And I think that education and talking about it, raising awareness, and things like parental controls are still really useful.
Yeah.
I feel that, obviously what we're doing in prevention is I think it's a game changer. But we want to link arms with all of the other technologies in this space, because I think we need to kind of layer them all up, don't we? We need to give children and parents every possible tool and capability to be able to protect those precious children from harm, and for them to be able to use all the good aspects of the internet, the learning, the connections, the joyful things, the games and socializing and music and everything else. So I think that, we should be doing all of those things.
Yeah, there is such a divide, I guess, or a line, because as you say, it's not a bad thing. Technology is a great thing. We embrace it every single day. It's not something that was as prevalent as it is now back when I was a teenager or when I was at school, but it's certainly a normality in everyone's lives these days. And so it is that kind of educating on what can be done and what you can do in terms of what is available out there now, how things can support with prevention. And I guess where the technology that you've developed here comes into play, we were talking a little bit before we started, hit the record button, and you were saying that you were telling me a little bit about the technology that you're about to release now. It sounds fascinating. It boggles my mind, like completely blows my mind. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about it, please?
Yes, I will. So our technology is called Harm Block,
Okay.
and it's basically looking for harmful imagery, video, live stream. And by harmful imagery,
Scary.
we wrap that up in a kind of broad category of what you wouldn't want your child to see. So it would be legal sexual imagery like pornography, but also nudity. And it would be children sharing consensually sexual and nude images of themselves and their friends, right through to illegal child sexual exploitation material. So, category A and B. And we were able to train our algorithms to recognize those sort of categories through our work with the Internet Watch Foundation in Cambridge, because they are the kind of government recognized organization that pulls down these sorts of illegal image of children, categorizes them in line with UK sentencing law in this country. And through the relationships we've built with them over 13 years and working with all of their data, and then independently evaluating the performance of our tech, we are able to a very high level of accuracy know that we are actually preventing these images from being created by children.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. This is like, yeah. I mean, it does make everyone think. Anyone that's listening to this will suddenly take a step back and think about, all of this that is there and out there, and probably the very little that I do as an individual and other people do, who are parents, to protect our children in this kind of modern technology-driven world where it's just so easy for something like a share of a photograph to happen.
So I think the way we package this technology up, and I don't want to get technical because I'm not technical at all, but I've kind of learned over the years, it's a very versatile piece of AI code. And we wrap it in a format called an SDK, which is a software development kit, which means it can be dropped into almost any its pipeline of imagery, and where images are analysed. And initially we thought we would take this to the platforms and services, big tech, social media platforms and that sort of thing. To cut a very long story short, the uptake didn't happen as we had hoped there, because they see themselves as platforms rather than publishers.
Yeah.
So they don't want to moderate content.
So places like TikTok, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. They don't want to moderate content before it gets uploaded, because that then change their categorization to publishers.
Okay.
So we were thinking, wow, we've got this solution that can actually prevent this from being uploaded, but we can't get the platforms to adopt it. We were looking at the devices already, but it became clear to us that when we work with the equipment manufacturers, so that is the devices with the operating systems and the cameras attached, that could be a smartphone, a tablet,
phone I've got here, like for example,
any smartphone, any tablet, any laptop, so anything with an operating system. When we embed this SDK Harm Block into the operating system, the whole device itself, every single application, browser, anything in and out of the camera passes through our image classifier. And if it's flagged then to be one of those categories, it won't render it to the screen, it won't send it, the child can't save it. It just doesn't allow that image to exist in the first place. Okay. And so in a practical application, on a smart device in your child's hand, they can't take a selfie of themselves naked.
Or even with a boy without a t-shirt on, for example.
No, it would have to be of their private parts.
Okay.
So it can actually, it will allow them playing on the beach, swimming, in any normal scenario. If it's sexual or nudity, it doesn't allow it. So they can't share images I mean, one of the biggest problems is peer-to-peer. So, and accessing pornography. So kids sharing images in school, teachers are dealing with that on a daily basis. And these nudifying apps, so it'll pick that up as well. It won't allow anything that contains nudity. So we now have this situation where we can make smartphones incompatible with pornography or nudity.
I think that is amazing. I think I know some parents have gone down the route of given their child like a phone which cannot access anything, like an old Nokia or something, if we can still get them, but an older type phone where they don't have the functionality to get onto like a social media or to be able to send or download apps. It's just really there for phone calls.
Yeah.
But we're in the modern world. I mean, I've got a 10-year-old who tells me that his iPhone's not as good as his friend's iPhone. So, it's never going to, that kind of style is never going to necessarily work long term for the mass.
Well, you're articulating what's going on in the head of probably every parent of 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds, not just in the UK, but around the whole world. I mean, this is a struggle you're having, and I am not going to kind of step in and say what's right and what's wrong. You're the mum. You will decide. And, I totally understand parents that say, I'm not giving my kids smartphones. I get it.
Yeah.
What I suppose where we come in is when you decide the time is right.
How do you protect?
Well, that phone needs to be safe for your children. You wouldn't get in a car and drive without a seatbelt.
No, I love that.
These are the safety tech pieces that should be embedded in phones. Along with whatever parental controls you want to put in. Harm block means your children cannot see porn. They're not going to become sexualized, from the minute you give them a phone. But our tech needs to be embedded into the operating system before.
So how does it get, so harm block, so this is the tech. How if I wanted it, how would I get it?
Great question. So we're a B2B company. So if you like, we've created this tech and now we're thinking, oh, goodness, the world needs to know about this. We need to work with a vehicle to get it into the hands of parents. So, Apple, Samsung, think of all the HP laptops, Chromebooks. Those are all the partners that we could work with. So once we were ready, we looked around, who can we work with? And I saw HMD Nokia were running this campaign, the Better Phone Project. I don't know whether you saw it last year.
I haven't seen it, no. No, it's the Better Phone Project, no.
It was utterly awesome. They were looking to create a device, a better device, as they called it, for parents. And they did so much research. They called everybody in. They called government, they called teachers, parents, doctors. They had so much kind of a really deep dive. And we needed to connect with them. We were like hammering on their door. We were like reaching out to everyone we knew to try and kind of connect. And we did in the end. I remember Richard and I, my co-founder and husband, we had a call with their C-suite. And we were just so certain we needed to work with them. And thankfully, we managed to convince them. Brilliant. And they're just such an awesome partner because they're a smaller equipment manufacturer, but they're European. They're based out of Finland and they truly believe in this. HMD stands for Human Mobile Devices and they care about their customers. They're authentic and they're human. So it's been a joy to get to know their team. I mean, we have locked arms with them and we are so excited and proud to be bringing the world's first ever, what we feel is truly safe device to the market this summer in the UK.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Have you has that been out anywhere yet? Have you spoken about this yet? Has it been released?
Well, by the time this podcast is released, we will be formally announced with HMD, and our first go-to-market partner, I'm so excited to say, is Vodafone 3.
Wow. Okay.
The mobile network operator.
Amazing. That's fantastic.
But HMD, Nokia, and SafeToNet, of course, we're global companies.
Yeah.
Because it's not just children this is a global social problem. And we'll start in the UK, thankfully, but we're going to be launching in Australia and as many other countries as, we can get over the line. Some of them I can't talk about.
No.
Some of them I can. But we feel this is really is a game changer.
It's a physical device.
It is. Yes, I've
like
got one.
This? Does it look like
yes,
this?
I can show you. Yes.
Can I see? Oh, I would love to be able to see it. Thank you. Okay, wow. Wow.
There you go.
It just...
So just open it up. Yeah, that's fine.
Smartphone.
This is the latest version. So I just got sent this yesterday because we keep reiterating and improving. But it's been embedded into the operating system, which is an Android device. It's called the Fuse harm block.
Wow.
And
amazing. So this is complete prevention from the very...
So what it actually does, so what harm block does is it's analysing in real time. So everything that comes through the camera or the browser or any application, regardless of whether it's end-to-end encrypted, because it passes out of the encryption then through the operating system.
Yeah.
So it doesn't report, so it's privacy preserving. It just basically stops an image from existing in the first place. So there's nothing to report.
Yeah.
It just works as a normal. It's a moderately priced.
What I like about the look of it as well is I think that for like teenagers and young people, they're not going to feel uncool with it. They're not going to feel like it's any different to anyone else's. And although you want to be pioneering, that is different, of course. We all know we live in a culture of, someone's got X, they want to have the same. So
I think this is the very first device. I'm hungry for us to be on every single device on the planet.
Yeah.
Clearly, we've got to start somewhere, and this is the very first one. We need to work with laptop manufacturers, with tablet manufacturers, but this is a great start.
So it's a great partnership, isn't it?
Absolutely, with a terrific company to work, as our partner. So, fingers crossed. We need to raise awareness through Vodafone that they get behind this, and that parents. I think the challenge is nobody knows that this is even possible.
No, I don't think so. I think, as we said earlier, definitely from my lack of knowledge, I just think, well, you can put on an app on the phone that's going to deal with the possibility or might block a few things, but actually I don't think the knowledge is there.
Google do have like nudity filters, and they've got lots of safety mechanisms, but they're not universal across the whole device. And this is what's really unique about our tech, is when it's embedded into the OS. You can't delete the app because children are so clever, much cleverer than us.
Yeah.
And baking it in to the operating system, I think Vodafone are going to call it safety by design, which is what I know the e-safety commissioner, who's the regulator in Australia, that's the terminology she uses. It's great. Safety by design means that you start with the safety in the operating system and then you build around it, which is what it should be for children. And it just works. It's safe out of the box.
I mean, amazing. I guess so. Let's get my head around it. So I could not get it because I'm your B2B. So I couldn't just put it on my Apple phone unless Apple have signed up and they want to be in partnership with yourself and this technology to be able to have it on and release it onto all Apple phones, right?
That's right. And we're committed to HMD as our first partner to go to market. I mean, in theory, this is such super versatile tech. And in my mind, like the vision would be that every device on the planet should have tech like this embedded into it to protect children. I mean, adults may want to watch content that is legal, fair enough. And in time we could separate out the illegal content and add that onto all devices and keep the broader blocking just for children. I mean, and if you think about this, I mean, what really makes my heart beat for joy would be the idea of taking it into markets where children are truly vulnerable and being exploited by people in the West.
Yeah.
Because there's another big problem that is connected to this
Of course, yeah. It's not simply, my very almost privileged son that is lucky enough to be born in this country, and be lucky enough to be able to, I don't know, have food on the table and have a roof over his head. We're talking about children that actually in other countries that not only don't have that, but perhaps that due to poverty or low income and culture, like things are very, very different.
Children accessing devices that have been unprotected for quite some time in the UK, in the USA, and Australia has sexualized a whole generation.
Mm.
Generation now, really sadly, who are struggling to build healthy sexual relationships as they move into their lives and struggling, to kind of build relationships at all.
Mm.
They've got this appetite for edgier and edgier pornography because they've been watching it since they've been children. And
Yeah.
this is then creating a demand for illegal child sexual abuse material. And I'm ashamed to be in a country that is number 2 for the consumption of child sexual exploitation material.
It's a full cycle, isn't it, though?
Yeah,
I
so
think if you go
we've
to TikTok, I am astounded sometimes by the stuff that's on there and allowed to be on there. And it's a trend, it's cool to watch. These are young girls that are barely of a legal age that are creating a business for themselves through exploitation.
and
And it
the
becomes
OnlyFans,
normalised. Yeah.
and this terminology that you see if you go onto some of these porn sites, like hashtag barely legal and
Yeah.
kind of incest and things like that. It's really a pathway towards consuming illegal content, which is coming out of the Philippines and other nations. And so the great thing, that's kind of lift the mood here
Yeah.
about our tech, is that it blocks this.
Yeah.
So, the big vision
Mm.
would be to be able to work with those developing nations as well, and embed our tech into laptops, tablets, smart devices everywhere, and block this content from existing.
So obviously this is the start. I mean, there is so much more to be done. There's so much more to do. I'm sure that you're completely fueled by this mission and passion, and you can see how much change can be made. We spoke about the websites and the platforms that are out there. What else could happen? What else could we do?
So I am absolutely passionate about this. You're right. I'm like a woman on a mission.
Amazing.
And
you should be.
I think the work that's being done with platforms and services should not stop. So the Online Safety Act is holding them accountable, and the regulator Ofcom is gearing up and starting to wield its powers. We believe that the equipment manufacturers and operating systems should be brought into scope of legislation because they're not currently in scope. And I think the maturity of AI like ours, along with the maturity of the processing power of devices, has got us to this point today now where this sort of a solution is viable. It's market ready. The performance is exceptional. It's so fast the way it works. And I'll show you in a second.
Yes, please do.
That it's seamless and it's virtually real time. So it's kind of market ready. So we're looking to governments like the UK, Australia, the US, and the European Parliament this is what I've been doing, and I travel the world trying to kind of lobby for this, is to bring these devices into scope. And I must say the Home Office are super interested. And, we're very closely engaged in demonstrating our tech and evaluating it. So I'm very hopeful, along with the e-safety commissioner. And actually, I have to say it's hot off the press, but I have got a meeting with the First Lady's office in a couple of weeks' time.
Wow.
She's pledged that, this area, online safety for children, is very close to her heart. And she recently passed the Take It Down Act. And I'm really kind of encouraged that I might be able to reach out to her and demonstrate our tech, because I think she's definitely a powerful lady.
Oh yeah. I think you're going in the right direction. With
Yes.
the right, getting the message to the right people. Absolutely. Why? Should we have a quick look at this then? If you can show me how this works.
So, what I'm going to do is pull up a naked lady.
Oh, okay.
Just to show you that clearly this is always a demonstration that you will remember.
We've got a naked lady here.
On the screen. And I'm just activating the camera. And what I'm just going to do is just run the camera in front of this image.
Yeah.
And just instantly it blocks it. It's shown a black screen with a little purple circle with an arrow through it. And as I move away,
it refocuses and back into camera. So what we've got here is on the actual phone, it goes completely black when the image of the naked woman, which is on the laptop, which we're facing the camera onto, it just completely just takes away the image, just blocks it from being able to take a photograph.
So if I was also to open the browser, which I can do here, and browse something.
Okay, it won't let you do it.
You saw a millisecond glance at some
porn. That is amazing. Yeah.
So I'd have to go back to the home screen. So it says basically navigate away, and then if I try and open anything that's got nudity, pornography, it just shuts it down. So that's basically live streaming because it's not been trained to recognize those images. I'll just close that down.
I mean, not to get too political here, because I feel like there is a big hole we can go down. But I guess you're fighting as well with such a big, powerful force out there, which is pornography, and it's such a big moneymaker for very powerful people probably run that world. Like, you're literally going up against them.
Well, this is for children.
Yeah.
This is aimed at stopping children from viewing pornography. And I can't speak for the porn industry, but I know there's a lot of work going into age estimation, evaluation. In a way, this is blocking it at the source. So children accessing pornography, nudity, everything. So
to get the new device that is coming out with conjunction with
HMD
and Vodafone. Well, the sooner it comes along, the better.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, I'll be watching, listening, and following you to see how things develop. I know that in Australia, you've got the meeting with the First Lady. I mean, it's all moving forward in the right direction for everybody. So that's great.
And I think, if we had an ask, our ask really is for every parent to know that this technology exists. Somehow or another, I want everyone on the planet, whether they can afford it or not, to get it. And I don't know right now how that's going to happen. But here we are, device one coming to market.
Do you think we rolled out in schools information? I think that would be a
dream. I mean, to get it onto something like Chromebooks, and then I'd love to work with the Department for Education. That's been a bit elusive, but we're very close to the Home Office, and they've been amazing. And so I think one step at a time, we'll find our way. But, we won't give up. This is.
So anyone listening who can help, Department of Education or on high office.
Absolutely. Or just all you mums and dads out there.
Absolutely.
It's called Harm Block.
Yeah.
And we're called SafeToNet. So just Google us and you'll find how you can get a device.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That you have obviously had a phenomenal career. I mean, I know this is a passion, but it is a business as well. And I know that you received an OBE in 2020 for your work, which is astounding.
Thank you.
Your background is in IT.
Not really. No. I mean,
travel.
I'm from Northern Ireland. Okay. I don't have a university degree.
Nor do I. Here we are. We're all fine.
Shout out to those.
Shout out to those. And apprenticeships, brilliant.
I just think that if you are absolutely mission driven and you're 100% passionate about what you're doing, you will achieve your goal. You do not give up. I mean, I think we are a tech startup.
Yeah.
And it's been really tough. There's been so many times when we've thought, we can't go on. We can't go on. But I mean, I know anyone who's running a business, this will resonate with them. It's not easy. It just isn't, but you've got to keep on going.
Yeah.
And
it's a frame of mind.
Believe in yourself. And if you've got a barrier, go above it, around it, under it, get past it, or pivot. We've pivoted this business, I cannot tell you, so many times. And that's how we've arrived at this we weren't doing this at the beginning. We were doing something different. But I think that's, and maybe just because I'm so determined, I thought,
Mm.
oh, give that girl. I
Yeah.
don't know how that happened, but I'm very proud of that award.
Well, I think that's what you need. I think when you are starting a business, whatever business it is, and I mean, this is, extraordinary in terms of what it is that you're delivering and what it is you're giving to a person, to parents, to people, to children, and preventing like horrific
Well,
things.
I'll only celebrate when we see the impact. So
Yeah.
actually, we haven't done anything yet.
Mm.
The joy will happen when we start to see children's lives change for the better.
Yeah.
It has to be about children. Every phone equals one child
Mm.
safeguarded.
Mm.
So until we start seeing this, mums and dads getting hold of this device for their children, putting their old, the way parents often have a hand-me-down phone.
Yeah.
I did that for my kids,
Mhm.
give them the old device, save a bit of money. You can actually trade those phones in,
Okay.
can't
Yeah.
you, through the various different organisations will kind of sell them for you. So don't give them your old phone. Buy one of these. They're reasonably
Yeah. No,
priced
that
Androids.
is a bloody good idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I hadn't thought about that, but I think
Yeah.
that is great.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, I mean, I will definitely be thinking about a trade-in from current devices to that. But in terms of your business side, though, I mean, obviously, this is your passion, it's your mission, it's everything, and we've got listeners out there who are doing something that they're passionate about, that they
Mm,
really, really believe in. And as you said, I think every entrepreneur knows that's made it to a certain point that one day could be absolutely crap and you feel like
yeah,
giving up.
totally.
And then another day you're like, nope, come on, let's keep going. Let's just ride through it. Have you got any piece of advice for someone that is creating a business, who is in the midst of it, who feels
Oh,
a bit lost?
well, I think I have a shout out to my husband, who is utterly awesome here, and he's the kind of commercial brain behind all of this. If it wasn't for his determination, we wouldn't be here.
Mm.
He's the one that has raised the funding and has seen us through the darkest times. And I think, having faith has been a big part of what has kept us going through this to the end. Um, I'm believing in our technology and our tech team
Yeah.
through the darkest moments. And then just, I think, kind of pushing into your mission as well. So understanding the problem
Mm-hmm.
and really developing your tech in a way that it's a real good market fit and it's super versatile.
Mm.
So the fact that it's highly accurate, that it's super fast, that it doesn't report, being privacy preserving, because privacy is a big deal in this space.
Mm-hmm.
So learning about navigating those important elements have helped us get to this point. But of course, we've made all the mistakes. We've developed all the things before where we were,
Yeah,
we fell foul of everything.
of
And so
course.
that's been our learning. And then
Yeah.
I think failing
Mm-hmm.
through a journey. So I would say to every entrepreneur, almost, this is like a bit cheesy, sorry,
No, I love
rejoice in your
I
failures,
I say,
because
yeah.
they are where you pick yourself up, you have a good old cry, and
Mm-hmm.
you think, right, I really did that wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
won't be doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
And those are your best learnings.
Absolutely. I've definitely, as a business owner, cannot agree more. I've definitely failed a few times along the way, but it's not a failure. As you say, it is a failure, but also that failure could be your biggest success, turning it
Absolutely.
around.
And I would say also go to every meeting at the beginning, get out there, network, speak to every person. Don't avoid or think, oh, that's not worth it. At the beginning, we really kind of tread the pavements.
Mm.
We worked really long hours and we've met so many people. We always say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got such a great network of brilliant people that we know and have helped us. And then we help them back.
Mm-hmm.
Be generous and
Yeah.
kind. Because the tech industry is hard
Mm.
and raising money is very difficult.
Yeah.
So, don't burn your bridges.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Amazing. Well, I feel massively inspired. I'm inspired by your passion. I'm inspired by the mission. I'm sure listeners are inspired as well to want to be able to get behind you, get behind SafeToNet, get behind the technology and drive it forward and help you drive it forward. For those that are listening that have got children that are about to go back to school in September, this is a perfect opportunity, no, to be able to,
absolutely.
if it's out there and it's available.
I mean, we would love to engage with schools directly. So that's what we're doing a bit at the moment, or networks of schools. So we've kind of had a bit of a blocker on some of the independent schools on how we can engage with them, because the kind of overseeing bodies want us to join up with membership, but we just want to reach the schools because we're looking at this globally and we can't join every single independent kind of body. So we would love to hear from head teachers or their safeguarding leads, PTA groups, mums and dads, faith groups.
Let's do that. Reach out.
Children
Please reach out.
Local authorities, contact us, because we'd love to kind of find a way that works for you, that we can deploy our software and keep your children, your vulnerable children, because it's displaced and looked after children, foster care children are actually the most vulnerable. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sharon, it's been amazing to have you here. I love every single time I meet with someone new to learn. But particularly on this one, obviously it's close to my heart, as it is to a lot of people that will be listening. And there's just so much that we can actually do as individuals to help get behind everything that you're doing to make everything, just make it safer for our children and to tackle the problems that go much deeper as well. Exactly. It's time to kind of change, isn't it? Time for change.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.